Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kenos, and we are here for the finals for Split 7 Blitzkrieg versus Northern Storm. We have an all-star cast of supporters here to help you out and get you through to know everything you need to know about the game. Starting off with my co-casters, Jeff, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Excited for a big time series.
And Arcane Soda. Arcane, how's it going?
I'm doing well, getting ready to bring this split to a close.
Yeah, I can tell the teams are definitely ready as well. And along with this, we are also going to have an analyst desk section. I'll let them introduce themselves when we get to it. But before we get there, I just want to give you guys a chance to have your thoughts out there. So Jeff, we'll start with you. What are you looking forward to from this matchup in this best of five?
I think that we really saw a great level of aggression and decisiveness from Northern Storm last week, and that's kind of been how Blitzkrieg has played throughout the split. So I really feel like we're going to have two teams that are quick to pull the trigger tonight. It's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of initiative taken on both sides, and should make for a good series to watch.
And Arcane Soda, how about you?
I think we've definitely got an exciting tale of stories here between both the teams. Blitzkrieg losing one of their games in the first set of the split and then not dropping a single game for the rest of the split. Meanwhile, Northern Storms just had such a strong resurgence at the back half of the split. I think we've got quite the set of games on our hands tonight.
I couldn't help but agree. And who better to help lead us through a discussion about the games than our top tier analyst desk? I'm going to slide over in there right now. But Jeff and Arcane will be back with us just in time for the game to get started. So we'll be with you guys in a second. And now we are over here with the analyst desk. Sig, why don't you walk us through who is going to be talking us through Champ Select in this first game?
Well, folks, it is a pleasure to see you for this quite auspicious day here at the finals of the LCUS Split 7. I will be poking and prodding my two colleagues today. Right above me, you'll see Chaosix, Jamie, and to my side, you will see Infinite, also known as Jareth, and probably my daughter's hand as she tries to get into the camera. Well, folks, this is going to be a very exciting matchup as many players have called this a thunderous event. Both teams have prepared quite heavily, and we're going to see which hand with the lightning bolt walks away with the big W.
Absolutely. And I have informed the players that we are ready to roll. So hopefully we'll be heading into Champ Select. Slackosaurus is counting us down. And here we go. So I will leave the analysis of the picks and bans in your capable hands.
All right.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
Kenos, if you're still here, you'll have to transition to.
I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there'll just be a slight delay.
Sorry, folks. This is cutting edge stuff. It's not even showing the right overlay. That's all right. Right off the bat, we see Blitzkrieg starting with the Seraphine meta ban and the Anivia ban into Slackosaurus. We saw Anivia come out a few times this split. Infinite, do you think we're going to have to worry about a heavy mage mid lane presence with between Brandanosaur and Slackosaurus Rex?
I don't know if it's more of a huge mage worry. I think it's just the amount of ability that Anivia brings to team fights. It's really hard to do anything about that. Her wave clear and everything like that. So I think these two players tend to play more aggressive, like kind of assassin-y kind of picks. Like we've seen the Yasuo, things like that, the Lucian from Slackosaurus Rex. So I don't know that placing a bunch of mage bans makes the most sense. But I think Anivia is just because of her CC control.
And she answers assassins pretty well, so it's a very smart ban in that aspect. We are going to see picks starting to come across. Now I do think an interesting ban is double ban topside with the Lilia jungle. What do you think from your experience with J-Dog, Chaosix? What do you think we can expect out of him today? First, ideally support pick coming across for Smokey on Blitzkrieg.
I don't know. J-Dog's kind of a wild card here. Darius, he played a lot. Banned out, of course. Malphite banned out. I'm not quite sure how deep his pool goes. Trying to think of stuff we've seen him on in the past that he might be able to pull out here. Probably you can bet on, though, a Bruiser. Something tankier. I don't think you'll see him on an Aurelia or anything.
Might see him on like a Kale though, or a Mordekaiser or something like that.
That's true. Kale wouldn't be bad in this comp either. Enable Viego to pop off with that weird ult.
So from there, we are seeing the Viego pick come across Morgana, Ornn in the top side. So huge scaling coming out of Northern Storm right now, and the Misfortune picked up for Blitzkrieg. So lots of team fight potential, and I think it's interesting with as bugged as Viego is right now. Do you think that this could be a top Viego, guys?
I think Viego for Pistol Crab.
That's my guess too. Wasn't he playing it earlier?
He did have a game on it.
Yeah, this seems likely. You kind of want to be all over the place, right? Plus, J-Dog's better on other champs, I would say.
Yeah, I think Blitzkrieg realizes that if they can get Pistol Crab to have a huge lead over Jester OG, then they have a good chance of winning these games outright. But then getting someone like Pistol Crab, who's already shown a very, very dominant performance on Viego, who's just frankly kind of a busted champ anyway by design of his kit, that's a pretty good call in my opinion.
I agree. We did see the Senna pick come across for Northern Storm, and with the final bans from Northern Storm being the Cassiopeia and the Diana, and followed by a Hecarim ban and a Malzahar ban from Blitzkrieg. What do you think we're going to see out of Brandana today? This comp does look like it would benefit from more follow-up in team fights between that Misfortune and the Swain. We are going to see Run, Stun, Fun Bear, perhaps from Token. Nope, the unfun, unstun, well, kind of stun, unfun Bear, Volley Bear, coming out for Northern Storm. So we are going to see that in the jungle. Now all we are missing is the pick for Slackosaurus, unless this is a super... unless somebody's been watching Alpha play and they play in the Morgana mid. Or Gregosaurus also played. We see the set coming across, more than likely for J-Dog. And then just waited on bated breath for the final choice to come across for Brandana, the Brandanosaur.
Yeah, Corgi's an interesting pick, but I think it fits our comp pretty well.
I agree, and it scales very well into the Senna. I think it's a very solid answer, one that the meta doesn't usually agree with, but I feel it's strong here. And with that level of mobility, his roam is going to be off the chain. Syndra pick coming across as the final pick for Slackosaurus Rex in the mid lane for Northern Storm. So we've got about 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm going to go to you first, Infinite. Looking at this Northern Storm comp, we have scaling bot lane, very strong fighter in Syndra, plus some strong team fight potential, and lots of scaling in the top, with Volibear just being a solid objective roamer. Tell me, what are the success points that we need to be watching for Northern Storm, and what is their win con fighting into this team fight ready Blitzkrieg comp?
So, from what I'm seeing, Northern Storm's strengths are they are very hard to engage on. They've got a lot of crowd control. They've got a lot of peel in the form that they just have a lot of range with the champs like Senna and Syndra. I kind of just fuse those two together. On top of that, they technically scale infinitely with Senna. Ornn also scales really good into the late game. So I think that their win condition is play safe, play smart, wait for Blitzkrieg to be that over-aggressive team that they've shown they can do and that they usually are. They're usually successful with. But if Northern Storm can punish that and then just drag out the game, I think they win this one.
I agree. I'm excited to see if we're going to see the successful team fights that Blitzkrieg's looking for, and they've shown their capability to do in the top half of the map. Jamie, Chaosix, if you're in Blitzkrieg's pick ban right now, and you've drafted the comps that you've drafted. Looking at the potential scaling coming out of this Northern Storm squad, what do you do to get early game advantages? What's their early game win con?
Well, early game, kind of a horse apiece. I would say actually for both teams, I think the mid lane is going to be the focus here. They're kind of both the damage threat. They're going to want to get ahead early. So I'm expecting Pistol Crab to be hovering mid quite a bit. Maybe also between bot. Misfortune being kind of their second damage threat. Of course, Viego can pop off. Absolutely. Senna, it depends if they do fasting or whatnot. Senna can hit hard, but Syndra is really going to be who they want to funnel their gold into if they can. So we might just get a bunch of 2v2s in mid lane here. It'd be really interesting to see how the junglers play this out. So I think that's what the match is kind of going to crux on there.
I agree. And these are some talented junglers. They've really shown and strutted their stuff over the split. So my question to you, my esteemed colleagues, in this last minute, let's go ahead and get our forecast for this best of 5 series. Infinite. It's a best of 5 series. Is this the day that Blitzkrieg completes the redemption arc, or is this Northern Storm showing that they still got the same hooks from Split 1?
I think Blitzkrieg is going to win overall. I don't know if they're going to win this first game. I think that I think they might be putting too many eggs in the Viego basket, in my opinion. I don't know how J-Dog's going to do on set. I know that he's played it, before and everything like that. But Misfortune's kind of a comfort pick and also a takeaway from Token. I just think Northern Storm drafted better this time around, though. But I still think Blitzkrieg will rally and they will probably win this overall.
20 seconds. Chaotix, give it to me quick.
I like Blitzkrieg overall. Probably 3-1 would be my guess. As far as this game, I think Northern Storm actually has the easier to execute comp. It really depends on Pistol Crab on Viego really popping off in the early game. We'll see.
I'm excited to find it out. I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Good luck, guys, keeping up with this action.
All right, guys, and we are back with the casters at Arcane Soda and Jeff noticing lack of skins.
The audacity.
I appreciate it. I like it. That's it's original.
It's original, but I don't know if it scores us any points here. Skins get wins. It's a known fact.
Doesn't score any points for me.
See if anyone goes for a level 1. We haven't really seen much of that throughout this split.
Well, we're all set and ready to go, so let's see if anyone does anything like that. Doesn't look like it, playing it safe for this first game.
I'm just going to say Bidet on this Ornn is going to be unkillable if this game goes long.
That does seem to be how Orns end up in the LCUS, yeah.
Yeah, but especially with it being, 4 auto attack based champions and a Swain. I mean, how do you get through an Ornn with that kind of combination?
Winning quick and winning early, I guess.
That's what it's going to be all about, I think.
Yeah, if Northern Storm can't come out with a lead in this early game, which they're not exactly set up to do aside from Syndra being able to potentially bully out in the mid lane, they're just going to want to kind of stall this out a little bit and start to scale, because as long as they can deal with the misfortune in fights, the later the game goes, the more difficult it is for Blitzkrieg to find a win here.
Yeah. I mean, Corki does do mostly magic damage, but it's still auto attacks, so certain itemizations can still really mitigate that. It's funny because, Northern Storm, they're so beefy, but at the same time, until that Senna really gets going, they're going to lack damage. They have so little damage on their team.
Yeah, and I mean, Senna in general also kind of lacks damage until you do get to that mass of souls.
Yeah, until your auto attacks start doing 40% health on every single one. Early aggression by Pig and Smokey the Bear down here. Is Brandana still a dinosaur? Yep, he didn't change his name again. Okay.
Yep.
I appreciate how all 5 members of Blitzkrieg have some sort of animal in their name.
That's a fair point. Never hadn't put that connection until you just mentioned it. Yeah, got to keep an eye on those stacks on Token for sure.
Pig and Smokey the Bear might have actually just missed out on XP from one of their ranged minions. We'll see if that contributes to maybe an early level 3. I don't think that Senna's really the type of character that you really go for an aggressive level 3 trade, but you get a good binding.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fun thing about supports like Morgana or Lux, is that they can create the sort of aggressive plays that you might not expect just with that binding, with those positional moves.
For sure. And if one binding lands, you know, this Senna Morgana lane, then the other one's free as well. So you're going to be locked down for about 4 or 5 seconds.
Very quick
Yeah,
back.
Morgana definitely allows for some extra damage there to potentially seal off an early kill there if they do
Both
manage
junglers
to
are
get
topside.
binding.
Early play on a J-Dog. He does still have the shield available. Throws it out. Only hits 1. Vigo is here, but I don't know if he's going to be in time. Nice stun from Pistol Crab, but now he's all alone. The damage is just not quite there, but now they turn it around, and Jester OG is going to get taken down. Really, really good stuff. The patience and confidence of Pistol Crab to stick with that trade when it looked like it might be going the other way.
Yeah, J-Dog as well. I mean, most people might have run with the health at that low a point. But he just turned around, came back, managed to land a little bit of CC, a little bit of help.
Ooh, nice root in the bot lane. Token gets ignited, pops the heal. Black Shield to keep him safe as well, but that's an advantageous trade for Pig and Bear down there. J-Dog might have stuck around too long. There's no flash for either guy, but Bidet's going to land the slow. Oh, I think he autoed a minion. He autoed a minion. He will still get it with the Bellows Breath, though.
Yeah, speaking of
Alright,
sticking around, that bot lane for Northern Storm is also getting taken pretty low.
We just get a little bit of overcommitment from both sides in the top lane, and that lead that Blitzkrieg was able to garner up there for First Blood is kind of mitigated by Bidet there, able to pick up a trade kill onto J-Dog there. So
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate for J-Dog because I think he almost had to stick around there, or the lane would have been in a pretty bad position for himself. Maybe Pistol Crab could have stuck around and helped him push that out to get a safe back, but in any case, still a 1-for-1 overall in the extended trade. Teleport play coming in bottom, though. It's going to be Slack Stores. He will land an easy stun on Smokey the Bear. Maybe should have flashed earlier. Will get away from the binding, though.
Yeah, very
yeah,
nice
stun does hit both, which was really nice there. Unfortunately, really good on Tilted Pig and Smokey the Bear burning heal and a flash to get out of there. Not willing to lose anything else that they don't need to, but we look like we've got Dragon started up by Northern Storm here.
Yeah,
And
4 members of Northern Storm here already. Dragon's down to about 2,000 health. We'll see how aggressive they want to be. Pistol Crab goes right in. Princess Peach is really, really low, as is Token. They get the first kill down. Jester OG is all alone in the front line now. Brandana needs one more auto. He will have to flash for it, but Slack is out of mana. This Syndra is completely useless right now. Does get hit by the snare. Will go down as Pistol Crab takes advantage of having the Senna kit temporarily, and a huge fight for Blitzkrieg early on.
I mean, that just seemed effortless. I don't think, like, I mean, look at their health. It seems like the fight did nothing to them at all.
That fight started and Token's health evaporated in like a second. So that's some scary damage potential that we see coming out of Blitzkrieg oh so very early. They are able to pick up that Mountain Drake for themselves. So pretty good gather for them there. 2 kills onto Brandana, an extra kill onto Pistol Crab. They're looking real nice in these opening few minutes of this game.
And
J-Dog and Bidet had a little bit of a trade up in the top lane as well. Sorry, go ahead, Kenos.
I'm just gonna say, I wonder with Token if this is one of the problems of playing a support character as in the role of your main damage dealer. Because if you compare like Misfortune's health to Senna's, Misfortune has an additional 200 health on Senna with similar items. And, I mean, that can lead to some scary situations.
Yeah, we saw Token, one of you pointed out the really early back by Token and Peach, and Token picked up a cull for that, which is obviously, you know, it's going to scale nicely for you, get that extra income, but, you know, it's not doing much for you now, and you maybe saw the consequences of that in that last fight.
Yeah, it's rough for them right now, I think. They're definitely on a back foot here, 2k gold differential. And at least the psychological momentum, I would say, is with Blitzkrieg now as well.
Well, yeah, and then you have the trade-off of Misfortune is a character that has relatively high early game damage if you can land those nice double ups, whereas Senna doesn't do terrifying amounts of damage, but we see a little engagement here in the bot lane. Just some trades of blows here, nothing too crazy going on.
Brandana just put a huge hurt onto Slackosaurus. Didn't even notice that we have another dinosaur battle in the mid lane here for finals.
But now that there's a little bit less excitement going on, so the Senna Misfortune thing is basically Senna's going to be, as we said, the whole concept of Northern Storm's team wanting the game to go on longer, because the longer the game goes on, obviously the more Senna does because of the spirits, but also able to stay farther and farther behind this super front line they have of Ornn Volibear if they can get that far in the game. So
Jester coming in bot.
Great
Good
route.
binding from Smokey. They should all get away. It's interesting, we saw a Mountain Drake for the first one. Now it's going to be Ocean second, which means it cannot be either of those souls. And for a team that is going to be super tanky like Northern Storm, I feel like you're almost a little disappointed that there won't be any chance to get, one of those souls that help you be beefier and more sustainable.
Might help them chip away at Bidet as well if Blitzkrieg gets it.
Yeah.
Assuming
Pistol
it's
Crab going in a little early there. Took 2 tower shots before anyone else had drawn aggro. Bidet will fire off the ultimate. And looks like he's just trying to clear it away. So not the greatest Rift Herald, but they do get a couple plates.
Yeah, Pistol Crab was really eating tower shots there, so that's difficult for him. Jester kind of lurking here. Might get Brandana, but there's a 2-level advantage. Good stun, though. And looks like Brandana might think about running. Oh, got some of that trademark Blitz rotation, though, coming, but they actually turn back.
Yeah, I think both of these teams, their bot lanes are always really, really willing and eager almost to roam and be willing to sacrifice a little bit in their own lane to maybe make a big play towards the mid lane.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that continues. Especially, I think that that's been one of the big ways that Northern Storm has gotten back into games they've been behind, is those rotations. But there's been a lot of aggression in all of these lanes now, so I don't know if Blitz is going to be able to find the way to do it. Obviously, Jester is trying. He's had some great attempts at ganks, but other than that top lane excursion, it hasn't... well, even in the top lane, it hasn't gone great either.
Have Pistol Crab down on the bot lane, perhaps looking for something. Dark Binding does land, that could bait them in. We'll see how aggressive they want to be. Here comes Pistol Crab. Oh, good Black Shield from Princess Peach. That might have just saved Token's life. Smokey the Bear flashes in. There's bullet time across the top, but everyone will get away. Token had to burn both summoners. Tilted Pig used heal, and Smokey the Bear used flash. Now Smokey the Bear gets pulled in. There's another Dark Binding. Big damage. I think they will kill the bear. No, they will not. Princess Peach goes down. Oh, there's the snipe, though, from Token. Great job to recoup something at the end of that play.
And at this point, anything you can get for the side of Northern Storm is a victory, because you can't let things keep going the way of Blitzkrieg. We got an engagement in the mid lane here.
Brandana in trouble, has to flash. Does still have barrier available. We'll see if they compensated for that. They do get him down. Nice aggression from Jester and Slack there.
But meanwhile, Pistol Crab and Tilted Pig are going to get the second dragon for Blitz.
We do
Feels
see
really
Cloud
good.
Soul is on the table.
Okay.
Interesting. So obviously certain champions benefit from Cloud Soul way more than others. It's kind of it's very unique compared to the other 3 souls, in my opinion. Soda, whose comp do you think benefits more from a potential Cloud Soul?
I like the idea of Cloud Soul for the side. Both supports really benefit from it being able to stay in the enemy team for the whole thing. But Corki's one that's able to really abuse Cloud Soul effectively, as well as Syndra can use it to kind of get in and out. It's kind of a stalemate. I think the better analysis here is Northern Storm's just happy it's not Infernal Soul, so they don't have to worry about losing that.
Agreed. Smokey the Bear could get caught out again. Doesn't have Flash, but it looks like Princess Peach is too far forward now. Does still have Flash available. I like the binding choice there. Now just zooming up toward the river. Will Princess Peach get away with this? Not quite, but everyone else has arrived. Token is really low. J-Dog gets them down all by his lonesome, but now Bidet, Jester, the whole squad has shown up, but they can't quite finish off the set. It's a double kill for Pistol Crab. Great bullet time from Tilted Pig as well, and that's 3 kills over to Blitzkrieg.
I don't really like Northern Storm's play there because the TP
they
came
pulled back
in.
Jester as well, man.
TP
Sorry, go
came
ahead,
in and they were already losing the fight down there, so you don't need to match a TP or have a second TP delayed behind either, because now you're just giving more pressure, more momentum for them to gain in the bot lane there, kind of opting into a fight that's already lost.
Yeah, that was one of those things where you kind of wish teleport was a little bit quicker, because half the fight was over by the time all the teleports completed, and it just fed into Blitzkrieg's waiting claws. And it's, as people in chat are noting, you know, Blitzkrieg really showed up today. I feel like Northern Storm's on the back foot, and it'll be interesting to see how they get back into this. Soda, what would you say is what they should be kind of focusing on to kind of claw their way back into this, even though it's still so early?
Well, that fight's kind of an example of what not to do, because the fight was already going south, and then like it seemed to be delayed call after delayed call. Meanwhile, we've got
They got Peach again.
That's unfortunate. What just happened there? Able to get collapsed on and just ran down in the lane. So game's looking pretty grim for Northern Storm as is. But that last fight that we saw in the bot lane, where it seemed like the fight was already going south. Then there was a call to get a TP in. Then a couple seconds later, there was a call to get the other TP in. And then Jester is running in from tower after the TP's.
Speaking of running in, Jester is looking for a kill down on the bot side. Smokey the Bear should go down here. Nice damage from Token, and they do give the kill over to the Senna, which I think is the right choice.
Yeah, it's very important that Token's able to pick up some gold here.
Brandana's going in for Slack. Misses the big rocket, though. Still a pretty good trade.
Speaking of Senna, Jeff, my dislike for her in the ADC role is not a secret. Do you think that that pick's holding this team back right now?
I definitely think that we maybe would have liked to have seen, or I would have liked to have seen a different pick out of the jungle or the top lane if you're going with Senna. Just when you've got, 2 tanks and then Senna as your AD carry, you just naturally lack damage. Not to sound like a broken record, as Brandana gets a solo kill onto Slackosaurus. Should go down probably in response, although Peach is going pretty low. Barrier is popped already, though. So it takes 3 members, but they do eventually get Brandana down. But yeah, to go back to your question, I think that right now just it's not necessarily just the Senna's fault, but yeah, the comp constructed here seems to really lack agency in the early game.
Did see some of that rotation from Northern Storm pay off, as the Peach Snare was what enabled the kill on Brandana.
Yeah, it was pretty big that Brandana was able to just finish off Slack with that last auto before going down to make that play overall even, and arguably sort of beneficial for Blitzkrieg, just because, 3 members have to devote time and resources to kill you, while your team only had to commit 1. Even if the kills are 1-1, you assume that your teammates are doing something productive elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Dragon coming up, very limited vision for Northern Storm in this game.
I do like Northern Storm conceding that Rift Herald up there. Don't want to... They see Pistol Crab walking up, and they learn from their mistakes. They don't want to opt for a fight there that they can't take. And this Cloud Drake's going to go freely over to Blitzkrieg as well. No contest from
and Slack's in a lot of trouble. Slack, has to flash.
Very good flash.
Good flash.
Yeah.
Smokey could be in trouble now, dueling against Peach, but the help is a lot closer for Blitzkrieg. Looks like everyone will just back away. Another route, though, onto Smokey, and there's the infinite CC. Eventually goes down, so nice job by Northern Storm retreating, but not surrendering. They get a kill back.
Yeah, it's very important for Northern Storm to find these little picks while they're disengaging.
Rift Herald is summoned up. And actually, Jester goes in. Tilted Pig, just no way to get away from that. Now Brandana does have Flash. May have to use it. Valkyrie first, though. Should keep him safe as long as he can dodge all the bindings. Both get thrown out, both miss. Now J-Dog is here, and a flash in from Pistol Crab, but gets immediately stunned. Now Jester OG has to walk away, taken down to about 20% health. J-Dog all alone in the front line, big shield, but I don't think it'll be enough. He actually ults back into the rest of the team and picks up a kill all by his lonesome. Picks up 2. J-Dog gets away as well. Look at that play from the Blitzkrieg top laner.
Yeah, that kind of shows what sort of nonsense Set can get up to. He's at no health, just gets 2 kills and walks out. Wasn't even contested.
And one of the things I want to point out there, it looks like Slacksaurus died with ulti available. Don't know if he was just low on mana or didn't find it necessary to be able to finish off J-Dog there, but just as I was about to compliment Northern Storm from seeming to opt into advantageous fights instead of just every fight, J-Dog's able to turn that fight around and make it even for them.
Pistol Crab,
Could be in trouble though. Oh, Dark Binding just barely misses from Peach, but they are still on the chase. This would be nice for them. This is a huge shutdown they could get.
Now he's gone.
Don't quite find it though.
I've been noticing that Northern Storm's been missing a lot of their skill shots early on here.
Yeah, that binding from Peach is maybe a little miscalculated with the bonus movement speed that Pistol Crab had.
Yeah, movement speed's so funny. You get these reflexes tiled down when you've got these sort of skill shot champs, but if someone's got a little bit of extra movement speed, it's hard to quantify that.
Especially when you've played this game for so many hours. If you're Peach, you've played Morgana so much that it's sort of second nature. Like, okay, I lead them by this much with the Dark Binding, but if you throw that off, it's tough to remember. Brandana trying to take away a lot of Raptors and does so.
A lot of action in this blue side jungle for Northern Storm.
Yeah, and one of the problems we're seeing here with the Senna, the ADC Senna rather, that's not getting a lot of kills or being there for a lot of assists. Token's only sitting at 38 stacks right now, so not quite at that second range buff.
Slackosaurus goes down again to Brandanosaur in the mid lane. The squad has shown up again though, and I think they will get him down. So, deja vu. Brandana gets a solo kill, but then the team shows up and cleans him up.
Yeah, I believe the Tormented Soil there from Princess Peach was able to finish that kill off. So unfortunate the gold doesn't go over to Token, but you want the money in your pockets on anyone that you can get it on. So
yeah, gold lead has surpassed 6K now, which used to be our hard point of no return.
And especially being down 3 Drakes, Northern Storm, they're on a clock here, kind of. I don't know if the Cloud Cell itself will really be the nail in the coffin. It'll obviously not be great, but that also means Elder comes even sooner as well.
Yeah, part of me almost wonders if they kind of just want to wait for Elder at this point, if they're not that interested in Cloud and just like, hey, let's build up and pick our battles at the Elder, but that seems like a bit of a risk considering the state the game's in right now. But we'll see. 30 seconds till the next dragon. Down 3 towers also. I'd like to see them push in a little bit more, but I mean, these towers for Blitzkrieg are barely even damaged.
Yeah, that's true. It seems like the entire game has pretty much taken place on Northern Storm's side of the river.
Right, but we do have 10 seconds left here. Bidet does have teleport available, just came off cooldown now, but I think that he'll be able to walk all the way down. But Pistol Crab is already there.
Flash is ready for 4 members on Northern Storm, but there's only 3 available right now for Blitzkrieg. So we'll see if they have to navigate this fight a little more carefully. J-Dog is on a flank position. They do see him coming in, though. Bidet will maybe just try to... Nope, Bidet's just going to back away. And Blitzkrieg just bully their way in and rest away position around this dragon. Looks like Northern Storm does not want to give this one up, though. Here comes Call of the Forge God. Fight is kicking off. They do catch on to Smokey the Bear early. Oh my gosh, that damage is enormous. Token flashes in, actually. Gets a free kill early. There's Brandana, huge package, excuse me, into the back line. Picks up 2, picks up 3. What a play from the Blitzkrieg mid laner. And that earns the soul right away, unless, nope, Token is not even going to look for some sort of cheeky steal.
Yeah, and Pistol Crab able to grab a couple resets in there to keep him safe from Token there. But fight looked to start off so well for Northern Storm, and Blitzkrieg just flexed their 6k, now 8k gold advantage, and just brute force their way to the victory of that fight. They get the Cloud Soul for their troubles, and they're gonna go and take Baron as well.
This Baron is dropping really fast, and I don't know if Northern Storm even has any idea it's happening because they see Brandana down in the bot lane. Brandana might 1v2 here, depending on... Oh, can't quite land the last missile, but does get him with the auto attack. So, once again, Brandana gets a kill by himself, gets taken down in response. But the Baron did go over to Blitzkrieg, so overall successful.
And I've seen that fight at the Dragon just seems like the textbook example of this entire game, where Northern Storm, you know, has a pretty good position. They managed to avoid a lot of the initial burst damage from Blitzkrieg, and then suddenly the whole fight just kind of falls apart when the 5-man focuses on the 5-man. And I think that's because, like we said, you know, there's a lot more damage output coming from Blitzkrieg here early, which, you know, fits their name. And they haven't really been able to find a response to it yet. Senna at 50 stacks now. Swain
Yeah, it's
26.
really interesting, too, because Smokey the Bear was dead basically for free at the start of that fight. It really didn't pop off until it was already a 4v5, but Blitzkrieg just so much extra gold in their pockets, the extra items, the extra strength, was all on full display in the second half of that fight. Pistol Crab running in, is under the mist, and gets right onto Token. They do counter-engage, though, and Slack gets a big shutdown kill, but Brandana in response. Teleport coming in from Bidet in the backline. Peach is in stasis, but will probably go down afterward. Snipe will not save him. Token is really, really low. He has to navigate this fight pretty safely. Smokey the Bear goes down. It's a 2-for-2 so far, and if you're Northern Storm, you feel good about that.
Yeah, that was very well executed by Northern Storm. They were able to retreat because the damage was kind of spread all over the place. And you've pointed out that, you know, picking on Smokey is almost half of the team's deaths, and the other almost half is Brandana, but Brandana's been getting 1 or 2 solo kills out of every one of those deaths.
Yeah, Smokey has kind of been frontlining, which, I mean, is something that you do tend to do as Swain, but it just seems maybe a little squishier than he'd like to be at this point in the game.
5 turrets done now.
Yeah, still Blitzkrieg, they do accrue an advantage even after that kill-wise even fight.
Yeah, fight goes even, but the results of it are an absolute win for Northern Storm. Get that huge shutdown from the Viego onto your Syndra here, who has been so starved for gold by comparison. 3.5k down from Brandana, and that's just been very troublesome for Slack to deal with here.
Alright, so Arcane, I asked you earlier, now Jeff, I'll turn to you. Northern Storm, how do they get back into this?
They're gonna need a miracle steal on this Elder Drake that's coming up soon, because Blitzkrieg is absolutely going to go for it, and if they don't, then they're silly. They absolutely should, they will. It comes up at about 28-30, I think. And there's no way, unless Blitzkrieg blunders pretty hard, that Northern Storm wins a straight-up fight. So I think the Jester's going to have to make a hero play, because if Blitzkrieg gets that buff, I think that we see the game end relatively soon.
And I mean, this is one of the things why we talk about vision a lot, because a couple good wards here would be great to notice if someone's off running by themselves.
Look at all the CC. They just immediately get Pistol Crab down, though, completely for free. Jester running away. Brandana looking for the damage. Has to flash away, though, as he was about to get snared up. Slakosaurus can't quite find a snare back. Look at that damage from Tilted Pig, but it's not enough. Once again, we see members of Northern Storm limping away with really low health, And now Pistol Crab, that's a couple times in a row that he's been caught out too far forward, I think.
Yeah, I really like this from Northern Storm. They're able to get a clean pick to start off the fight, and they just kind of fight their way out and try to disengage the fight, taking little advantages, not trying to overreach, not losing anything in return.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely the correct play right now. You cannot overcome the disadvantage that you're at right now in one fell swoop, but you just chip away, try to scale, get more stacks on token, get more armor on Bidet, see what happens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they weren't able to get a pickoff like that a little bit closer to when Elder Drake spawns, because now the Elder will be up in 40 seconds and everyone's back alive and able to get into position.
Yeah, definitely good decision by Blitzkrieg to not be sauntering into the jungle in a risky fashion at this point, as opposed to about a minute ago.
Well, we'll see what
Blitzkrieg
happens.
has early control.
Game's coming down to this, 20 or so seconds until Elder Drake. Would we say the game's over if Northern Storm can't get this?
I think if Blitzkrieg's able to pick this up, the game's pretty much over, because Northern Storm really has to dig in their heels here and slow the game down as much as they can, and if Blitzkrieg's able to pick up Elder here, Northern Storm's not going to be able to walk away from those fights with low health bars. They're just going to get deleted by Elder buff.
And in addition, if Blitzkrieg gets this Elder, I mean, Baron's up very soon, so you cannot contest Baron against a team with Elder, especially when you're already down 8,500 gold. Brandana has package as well. This is really, really well set up from Blitzkrieg. We saw the huge
J-Dog on the
package play last
flank
time.
here.
Yeah, J-Dog, he's going in right away. He will just ult back Peach. They should kill the Morgana completely for free. Senna ult doesn't really do a lot. Got some decent damage down, though, and Jester OG jumps in. Bidet and Jester are just melting under the damage, though. Brandana's wreaking havoc in the backline. Token all alone. Can't do anything about it. It's a clean ace. Looked effortless from Blitzkrieg, to be honest. Elder Drake going over. Baron soon to follow. Game 1 looking really under control for Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, J-Dog with a really good flank to start that fight off. Black Shield went on to Bidet, so couldn't save himself from the engagement there, and J-Dog's going to push in the base while the rest of the team picks up the Baron, and the game should be ending relatively soon. Maybe not on this push because respawn timers are back up, but Blitzkrieg most definitely in firm control of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Peach is able to kind of chase J-Dog off, but whole rest of the team is up. The most empowered you can be. 14k gold lead. And unless some crazy overconfident play happens here from Blitzkrieg, I think this is going to be game 1.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg even has a pretty solid 1-3-1 comp here as well. You can send Corki and Set into side lanes. They can handle themselves and get the push on, really maximize the potential of this Baron buff, although you do have Smokey the Bear recalling, so not going to be maximum pressure yet.
A lot of gold sitting in the pockets of Blitzkrieg. They want to spend that before they move in for their death push here.
Yeah, that's always the fun trade-off in these very oppressive late game scenarios where one team is sitting on a lot of gold and they got all these buffs, and it's a question of, do we push in and try to end it, or do we spend our money and then push in and try to end it?
Yeah, especially with a buff like Elder, which does not have as long a duration as Baron. So, you know, that buff is pretty much going to be ineffectual at this point. Obviously, it got them the Baron for free. I mean, well, they got the ace, so they would have gotten the Baron for free anyways.
They also don't really need the Elder Drake beyond just being, you know, win
They
more.
may catch on to Brandana.
Because Bidet's only got 3,000 health, so he's not the most durable you would see an Ornn be. And, you know, you don't really need that huge burst damage to kill Slack, Token, or Peach right now. Especially Token.
it's-
Token 1,400 health only.
Yeah, it's really been interesting to watch. Brandana is playing this Corki almost like an assassin. The way he's jumping into the backline and basically zeroing out 2 or 3 of the squishy characters by himself. Now you're starting to see the pressure mount. They have a wave in the top lane as well that will arrive soon, so this was well set up by Blitzkrieg. J-Dog just doing his thing down in the bot side, and looks like maybe a slow death coming for Northern Storm.
Yeah. I don't even know. I mean, I appreciate that J-Dog wants to stay alive, but I don't even know if the bot lane could be a big threat to him.
Yeah, probably not. But at this point, if you can end methodically, you know, now everybody's just going to come bot lane. You'll get 3 inhibs. Or an ultimate available in about 20 seconds, so that might be Northern Storm's last gasp here. But I think this inhibitor's going to drop even before that's available. Binding on a J-Dog, but that's not who you really want to initiate on. Bidet goes in, quick bullet time comes back from Tilted Pig, and it just melts through what should have been a tanky front line. They do get Brandana down, but Princess Peach is in trouble in the backline. They also jump onto Slackosaurus, and yeah, we forgot about Pistol Crab a little bit. In the midst of all everybody else picking up kills lately, Pistol Crab got fed early, and translating that into a big performance in that team fight. Blitzkrieg, dominant in Game 1.
Yeah, final shutdown gold on J-Dog. Thankfully, the towers finished him off. Goes over to Northern Storm, but not going to help out considering the game's over.
We assume the game's over because it froze. All right, let's take. Hopefully, we get a scoreboard here. Looks like we will. All right, take a look at some quick graphs, and then maybe we'll hop over to the analyst desk and get some of their thoughts as well. So let's see what we got here. Damage output.
Oof.
Brandana.
Brand damage sore.
Absolutely insane. Wow. That speaks for itself right there. That's crazy. Very well done on that, Corky. And vision as well, because everyone likes to see that. Yeah, about what you'd expect. I'm surprised the Vigo isn't higher. We saw him running around quite a lot.
Yeah, good point. But obviously did his job just fine overall.
Yep, absolutely. So now we will hop over to the analyst desk, possibly catch them in mid-conversation, and see what their closing thoughts are before we move over to Game 2. All right, analyst desk. What are your thoughts on this game?
There's a lot to think about with dynamic play like we just saw. Folks, that was one heck of a fight. I think some early calls in the game definitely led to advantages for Blitzkrieg, and I'm going to let our awesome analyst desk hop into that. While we were watching the game, we'd caught a few precious moments on camera. We want to cover those in order to analyze this game and talk about what can be done different. Did I fix the stream right? Is it look good this time?
It does look good, yes. Let me
All right,
hop over so everyone can
fantastic.
see that.
I had the wrong. I was sharing the wrong screen, chat. I'm looking to make Kenos look dumb. Hard to do that. Now, we'll go ahead and start. We had some good analysis. One of the clips we got was the that J-Dog getting the double in mid lane. I think Infinite, you had some really good comments on that. I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip. So right before this, we did see the Swain get killed by Northern Storm. So Northern Storm are able to stop the mid siege. They continue to push up. And it looks like J-Dog's going to walk in. So J-Dog does go in after the Jester OG attempt. Sexy Bidet goes in. He gets body slammed back, does tons of damage. The Skullcracker to get the double and just flashes to walk away.
So here are my thoughts on this play. This started out extremely well for the side of Northern Storm. We've kind of seen this a few times beforehand in some clips we're not going to show, that certain players, namely Peach, would land a really good snare. They would overcommit, and then on the crackback, Blitzkrieg would end up actually taking the win in the fight. And we kind of see a similar thing. It's not in the clip, but we see them get a really good pick on Swain. Because of that, they play super aggressive, and they just don't have the damage yet. They picked a very late scaling team, so they play super aggressive. They have some really good plays, and then they kind of fizzle out. And then Blitzkrieg is like, all right, time to turn the tide. And then J-Dog kind of just comes in and cleans everything up. And unfortunately, like I said, we're only going to show that one clip, but we see that a lot from the side of Northern Storm in this game.
So what do you think if you were in those shoes? Because they picked up the clean Swain kill like you had mentioned. They stopped the siege. What was the correct play? What steps do you make different to prevent that situation where J-Dog was able to capitalize on that beefcake of an Ornn, throwing him back into his colleagues?
I think their biggest mistake was pushing away from their tower. They had really good positioning, and then they moved just enough out of tower range to where Blitzkrieg didn't have to fear anything by being aggressive and going in there. If you had pushed that back just a little bit and J-Dog ulted under tower, he may have still gotten those kills, but then they probably would have immediately killed him back, gotten some shutdown gold, and small decisions like that can definitely turn a game.
No, it most certainly can. Now, Chaosix, we also picked up a pretty sweet Drake fight as well. It was right before Soul Point, I believe. It was third or fourth Drake. I'm going to go ahead and play that clip.
Yeah, third Drake, I believe, if we are on the same page about this.
There we go. So what we see is the MF Ultimate come out. They are able to pick up the kill on the Swain there. So it looks like it's Northern Storm's fight to win, but Pistol Crab's able to pick up the corpse of Zala, and this whole time Corky's peppering in damage, those ultimates across the board, getting a triple, pushing them off the Drake. So what do you think that team fight and that Drake contest shows us about these squads, Chaosix?
I mean, it was just a really good play from Brandana taking the package to the back line. I mean, at that point he had hit his item spikes, so he was absolutely deleting people, and like the entire front line was fighting the rest of Blitzkrieg, so he was able to just ult back there, or not ult, but W back there at the package, and just wreak havoc. It's kind of tough at that point. I think Northern Storm was already behind, so it's kind of it feels kind of hard at that point to even get a foothold back into the game. I feel like this is kind of the play that sealed the deal for them. After this, it was just kind of a snowball from Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, it's rough to come back, and it looks like they had made these scaling picks with the Ornn and the Senna, and they just weren't able to get to a point where these picks were able to play into the ferocity and reaching into the back line that this Blitzkrieg comp had. Their team fight was so strong. Even getting in a majority of these fights, picking up that early kill on the engaged Swain, as it appeared to be, it just didn't pan out very well for Northern Storm. So what do you think going into game 2? Let's hop back to you, Infinite. What changes in pick ban do you think are going to enable this Northern Storm team to win? They've showed a lot of success on double mage in the bot lane. They've shown some flexibility in the mid. Slack really excelling this split. What do you think you do different? What picks do you put these players on?
So I think there's a few things that you need to change. One, you've got to take Viego off the table just entirely. He's, as we said before the game even started, he's just a very strong champ by design. And we see that he wasn't even close to top damage in that game, but his kit and his presence made it so hard for them to react. So you take that off the table. You might even consider taking Swain away from Smokey. I think that Swain is probably Smokey's best support that I've seen him use this split. He does really well, and he shuts down a lot of what Northern Storm's trying to do. But most importantly, I think you need to decide as a team what you're going to do. Last game, they picked a team for late game scaling. They picked a team that can, peel back, that can play safe, and then they didn't play safe. They played very aggressive. They would get those picks. They would go, full in afterwards, and they would lose because of it. And this is a team, Blitzkrieg is a team that loves to play aggressive. So if you're going to try to match them on the aggressive scale, you pick and you play champs that can actually be aggressive early. You don't pick these late game things like Senna and Ornn. Or you pick the late game things like Senna and Ornn, and you slow the game down. You don't over-engage every single time you land a snare. You got to play smarter and safer and slower. But you need to choose one of those two paths and stick with it.
Good advice. Good advice. Either to a crawl or start picking for some breakneck speeds like you're playing for. I dig it. Chaosix, Any thoughts on that? Do you have any feedback? And is there any changes that Blitzkrieg need to make? There were a few times where Smokey did play a little forward, or perhaps would get caught out. What changes could either team look for? We don't want to be hypercritical.
Yeah, honestly, I think Blitzkrieg did fine. Their draft was good. You know, they had plenty of damage, plenty of engage. They played to their win con really well. I think Viego and Corky both got the early kills, and after that, it was just kind of over. If they kept doing what they were doing, I think this is an easy 3-0. On the side of Northern Storm, though, I kind of agree with Infinite. A couple points there. Maybe getting a little ahead of themselves after getting a pick after they were already like 5K behind. It's kind of, but like, what else are you going to do, So I don't really fault them for that. Maybe if Northern Storm really wanted to make like a huge change, they could maybe go for a disengage comp. Something they can kind of pump the brakes on J-Dog, or like the Viego initiating on you, pull it back, and then just like re-engage when they're good and ready. Give them the survivability. It would give them a couple more options, maybe to get back into the game later if they do start falling behind a little bit. But really, I want to see more damage out of them. I don't think Senna does that much damage, to be honest, until you get really late, which is, I think, was mentioned earlier. Otherwise, it was just kind of Syndra and then a bunch of beefcakes. So I'd like to see more damage for them for sure. Otherwise, disengage, maybe. Blitzkrieg, keep doing what you're doing.
Well, consider that performance evaluation to be a big raise for you, Blitzkrieg. You've continued your dominance from the split into this game one of quite a thunderous finals, as it's been called. Kenos, are you with us?
Yeah, we're here. We're ready to go into game 2. And we will do that in just a few seconds, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Let's see if Northern Storm can come on back.